Gerd Muller is the most important German footballer, no other.
I think he is the greatest striker the world has ever seen.
He was simply the best.
When I got the ball, I smashed it in.
It was 1945 when the great Gerd Muller was born in a small town in Bavaria, Germany. It was, however, a troubled time. The country was in ruins after the Second World War.
It was like everywhere in Germany in 1945. Nordlingen had also been partly bombed. It was in a state of emergency, like everywhere.
But things gradually improved for the war-torn nation, and football was a source of hope for many. There was the miracle of Bern in the 1954 World Cup, which particularly inspired the 8-year-old Gerd Muller. Coming back from 2 goals down in the final to beat Hungary 3-2 was an amazing achievement, and Fritz Walter's side managed to bring hope back to a beleaguered nation. It seemed that however bad things got, there was always football.
Ich weiß nur, dass wir von der Schule rausgegangen sind.
I just remember that we always played football straight after school because we didn't have anything in Nordlingen. My parents were poor, but my brother had a good job, and he was the one who bought me my first pair of football boots.
Der hat mir dann die Fußballschuhe gekauft.
At 9 years old, he was in the school team and then integrated into the youth team at TSV Nordlingen. One of my friends knew already in 1964 that Muller would become a big name in football. He already put his boots and shirt aside, in the knowledge that he would become a big star one day.
Ebenfalls ein Freund hatte die parat.
As a young man, Muller chose to be an apprentice welder because the factory was near his training ground. Football, though, was the main focus for his career, and the big clubs started to take an interest in him. But sadly for Gerd, the club he'd supported as a child, Nuremberg, never made an approach.
If they had approached me, I would have gone there like a shot. I'd have done anything. I would have cycled all the way there because people in Nordlingen only used to support Nuremberg.
We used to go to lots of the games they were playing in '63 in the Bundesliga. And his wish was always to play in Nuremberg. But then, in '64, he went to Bayern.
In his first season, Muller helped Bayern gain promotion to the Bundesliga. But not everything went so well. The coach at the time was Chick Kajowski, who was highly critical of Muller's stocky physique.
When he arrived, he was small and weighed a lot more kilos than today. Today he is slim. I gave him the nickname Short Fat Muller.
Short Fat Muller, he said. What do I want with this guy? What do I want with this short weightlifter? He wasn't convinced.
But the Bayern coach gradually began to see Muller's potential.
Thank God that for 4 weeks we were in a training camp in a sports school. We had friendly matches and preparation matches with town teams. I didn't used to start, and then the coach thought perhaps I should give him a chance earlier. And I noticed he had more trust in me. And then he let me play some full games. And then, for the friendly games, I always played.
Once Muller began scoring, the old nickname gave way to a new one, Der Bomber.
In Germany, people say you bomb into the goal. If you hit it hard, it's like a bomb.
Der Bommer's ferocious finishing in front of goal was getting him a fearful reputation around the world. After winning the '69 Bundesliga with Bayern, Muller was off to Mexico and the World Cup finals in 1970 with West Germany.
The others always say that the greatest World Cup was '74, but for me, the best one was in Mexico. Everything went so well there. Nobody bothered us, and it was great.
But it was an unconvincing start for the Germans, who fell behind to an unfancied Moroccan team. That was before Uwe Seeler and Muller himself popped up to give the Germans a narrow victory. Coach Helmut Schön needed to make changes, and fast.
Schön couldn't make his mind up who to play, and everything was undecided at this point. Before the second game, Schön took a crucifix into his room and prayed. We were wondering, would he ever come out? He sat like that, praying, to ask who he should put in the team. And he decided on a formation that was crazy.
Schön decided to play Uwe Seeler out of position, supporting Muller from the flanks.
I
was perhaps too old back then. I was 35 years old. Helmut Schön was attacked in the press for even taking me. But he had a good idea, and we worked really well together. I set up a lot of chances for Gerd Muller.
Uwe Seeler never stopped running. He always had a red head, but his head seemed to become bigger and redder in those days. For his age, he was running like a madman.
All of Helmut Schön's prayers were answered as Muller scored 7 times in 3 group matches, including consecutive hat-tricks against Peru and Bulgaria, taking the Germans through to face old rivals England in the quarter-finals.
We wanted to win. This time, we wanted to win. Everyone was talking about revenge, but as a player, you don't think about this, you just think about winning.
However, things didn't start well for the Germans.
And when we were 2-0 down, because of stupid mistakes in the defence, we thought to ourselves, this is going to get tougher.
But Franz Beckenbauer provided a lifeline.
That gave us a lot of strength as a team, because we said, this has become easier, we can do this. Then I had a bit of luck with a back header, and then we were back in it.
All square going into extra time. Cue Der Bommer.
A goal is a goal. All that matters is that it crosses the line.
West Germany had their revenge for 1966, a 3-2 comeback, and the winner scored by Gerd Muller.
We played well there.
Next up, West Germany took on Italy in the semi-finals.
People still talk about this game a lot, because it went back and forth with goals, and because both teams would have done anything to win. That made it so exciting.
It didn't start well for the Germans as Boninsegna gave Italy the lead. In their efforts to get back into the game, Franz Beckenbauer, West Germany's inspiration, dislocated his shoulder. It was a huge blow. The Italians led by a single goal until the last minute when Karl-Heinz Schnellinger scored an equaliser, taking a lap of honour and bringing the game into extra time. An exhausted German team had used all its substitutes, so the injured Beckenbauer, with his shoulder heavily strapped, played on. Then, in trademark style, Gerd Muller poached an unlikely goal from a tired Italian defence. 2-1 to Germany, but the lead was short-lived.
A free kick came over and Ziggy Held, supposedly a technically strong player, took it on the chest and miscontrolled it. Bergnich latched onto it and scored.
Worse was to come. The Italians took a 3-2 lead moments later against a disheartened West German defence. But Gerd Muller hadn't given up hope. He produced a fantastic diving header to level the match 3-3. A minute later, joy turned to anguish when Gianni Rivera scored the winner in what was one of the most memorable World Cup matches in history. Back in Munich, Der Bombers' ruthlessness in front of goal for Bayern was gaining legendary status.